Hello, Springs Valley. Today I will show you how to create 3D models and build them in real life. There is this program called Tinkercad. It's really simple to use, but because this is a website, it's going to be really laggy. Like even if you use a gaming PC, like a really good PC, it might still be laggy. And I will now show you how to use this program. You don't need to log in to create models, but if you want to save your models, you will need to create an account and log in. Now that we are in the modeling area, we can now start to model. Here's where you can change your name. Below it is this cube that changes your POV. However, if you are using a mouse, you can just not use the cube. But I also do recommend using a mouse because you get more functionality and control, and it's ultimately easier to use. This button will reset your view. This button will make it so whatever object you have on the mat will become full screen. So if I place the cube right here, I can full screen it. This is the zoom button, and this is the zoom out button. It changes the perspective to be more flat. Here's where all of your assets are. You have cubes, cylinders, spheres, triangles, pyramids, text, hexagons, dice, stars, donuts, hemispheres, more rings, a diamond, dice, a heart. Here's the drop down menu so you can access more complicated designs. So with these you get skulls, you get thunder clouds. Here you get creatures and stuff like that. You get eyeballs, chicken feet. You get machinery in this one, hardware, structures, electronics, games, everyday objects, featured collections, and a shape generator. In order to create a model, what you need to do is you need to click the model you want to choose and drag it over, and now you get to manipulate it. These little white boxes and black boxes allow you to change the size and shape of it. The corner ones are both X and Y. However, the black ones are just X and or Y. This top one changes the height of it, and this arrow will actually move it up and down. These little arrows right here will actually rotate it. In order to create holes and gaps within the model, what you need to do is that you need to either create another model and turn it into a hole, or you can take these two, drag them in, and here's a hole already here. In order to merge these two, because right now doing this will do absolutely nothing, but if I do this and click this button up here, I can group these two together, and now there's a hole in this. If I ungroup it, then everything will return back to normal. If I group it back together and add another one to this and group it and then ungroup it, it'll only ungroup the previous one. It will not ungroup everything. If I ungroup it again, then it'll ungroup the previous one. However, if I highlight everything and then group it, then everything will be grouped together and then ungrouped. You also have the ability to import models. Click this button, and now you get to take a file and drag it. You can also import your own models by clicking this button up here. It'll open up this menu where you either have to click this file, click this button, and then import a model, or you can just simply take a file and drag it in. Then you click import. And here is your new model that you imported. Keep in mind that when you do import models, Tinkercad will actually treat it not as a singular shape, but as multiple shapes creating one shape. Which means if I were to do this, let me import a new model. Take this file called driver, which is it's a very complicated shape. See how long it's taking? The other one took not even a second, and yet this one's taking a much longer time. There we go. Now it's complete. In order to export a model, what you do is you click export. I recommend going with STL. And then there you go. It's done. It's right here. Click show in folder, and now it will appear most likely in your downloads. In order to actually print the file, however, you need to convert that STL file of yours into a special type of code that a 3D printer can use. And you need special programs for that. So I'm using one called Ultimaker Cura, however there are other ones out there. I'm just using Ultimaker Cura because this is the only one I know. You will need to research other ones in your own time. In Ultimaker Cura, you can actually manipulate the model to better fit your needs for printing. Right here you can change, you can actually move where it goes. Right here you can scale it, including uniform scaling, so everything changes alongside it, and snap scaling, which basically just causes it to snap into place. Like, instead of going from 53x to 53.1x, it'll just go straight to 54. This will rotate it, and this will mirror it. Do keep in mind, though, when you're actually printing, more specifically when you're printing hollow models like this one, if you were to look, it's hollow on the inside, it will not print very well. It'll actually mess up during the printing process, and you'll have to throw it away. So what I would normally do for a hollow model, I'll actually prop it up. So like you see right here, it's still hollow on the inside, but now there's stilts right here that I can just cut off whenever they're done printing. There's also a big old base too to help prop it up. Stilts right here on the bottom too. So this will tremendously help the printing process and won't, mess it up. It won't fail. If you want to know how to use Cura more in depth, you will need to find YouTube videos and research it on your own time. The final step in Cura is to hit the slice button. This will cause it to slice and turn the model into G-code. Click save to disk, and now you have to find a place to put it. So I will put it in my file that I have on this computer. Save, and now it's done. If you do not have a 3D printer or the programs to convert it into the right file, both Mr. Goldman and Mr. Hart have printers. You can ask them to convert and print your model. Mr. Goldman and Mr. Hart both have classes where you can 3D print as an assignment too. Mr. Goldman has a STEAM class and Mr. Hart has a engineering class. If you have a 3D printer, research how to use it. All printers are different and require different steps. That's not even including troubleshooting, which you might need to do a lot if you have a cheaper printer or if it's a resin printer. When the print is complete, it will have this base plastic and rings around the main print. You can just simply remove these as they are to help the printing process. There's also typically a lot of stringy plastic around these too. Once again, just remove them, they're unimportant. That's it for today.